Working on your digital portfolios of all of the pieces that you have created this year, you will need to upload them to the PowerPoint, to a PowerPoint. Your title slide will have your first name, last name. That's the very first thing that you type in because you save it. When you go to save it, that's actually going to be the title of your piece. So if I save this to my documents, you can see Amy Badero is what it will be saved as. And when I go through to see if everyone has turned them into my Dropbox, that's what I'm going to be looking for. So I'm going to go back and I am going to work on a watercolor painting. You'll have a title on each one, and then you're going to look for your watercolor painting and you are going to place these on your slide. Now, if we look at this one and we do need to crop them, I'm going to double click so that I had the little dots around the corner, and then I'm going to hit the crop button. And if I go to crop this, you can see that this line here is not parallel to this line. So it's not going to be an image that I can actually crop without cutting off a lot of my painting. And that's not going to be a good photograph to use. So I'm going to go ahead and click in the white space, and I am going to right click and delete that. I guess I just will hit delete on the keyboard. And then I'm going to look at this image. If I look at this, this line seems pretty parallel to the edge of the photograph, as does this one. This one is not bad at the top and the bottom, but the side seems to be a little bit wider here and less space here. So I'm going to go ahead and select this one, and I'm going to copy and paste. And then you can see it's already highlighted. It has the little dots at the corner, so I'm going to hit crop. And then I can go through and I can crop. I'm going to take a little bit of the white off because I can put a nice clean white. Whoops. Be careful of that sometimes. So I'm going to move the image back up to that corner. And then I'm not really losing my flower or much of my flower. And then I can go ahead and hit in the blank space or click in the blank space. You can see the little guidelines that pop up on your screen. It's really just trying to look at placing and centering your image. You decide how you want to position it on the page. You can move the title around, whatever makes you happy. But if you wanted to put a border around it, you can, but you want to keep it classic. If I really wanted this to take up more space, which I do, then my title, I would want to shrink my title. Whoops. I'm going to move this around. So that you can move this around if you want. You can make your font smaller. You can make it bigger. You can place it somewhere else on the page. So when I pause this, you can see that I moved the photo around. I actually played with putting the title over to the right. And you remember, it is a title, so you need to make sure that you capitalize both letters of the title. And then if I want to, if it seems dark, I can go through and I could work on corrections a little bit. You don't want to alter it too much, but sometimes it just doesn't seem to pop or stand out. So I could go ahead and go through and do that. Now, design is important for your slides. You want to keep it classic when it's a portfolio. So you don't want to have a bunch of wild transitions or backgrounds that don't seem to unify your whole piece. This is one piece. So customizing it, maybe keeping it white, keeping it neutral. You can change the background to be all of the same color. And black would be fine. If I apply this to all, and then I can go back to my PowerPoint. What you notice here is that my text box Well, my text was black, so now I have to highlight the text, and then I can change the text to something different that's going to contrast or stand out with the piece. So those are things that you need to consider. If we go back up to my title slide, you can see I would have to do the same thing to that. So, you know, consider that when you make the color choices, your background. So if I did that and I applied it to all, I have to make sure that my slide color for every slide is the same, as well as works with all of the pieces. So you can change it and try some different things, but try to stay away from patterns and something too funky.